second right there. Wait a minute. Hold on, I gotta clean this screen one more time. Hold on.
I think it's.
Hey! Look, everybody. First off, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the #1 wrestling podcast in the world, right here on the FinTalk Sports Network. I am your gracious host. So happens his last name is also Brown, the guy sitting next to me, or on the screen next to me. But I'm Alex, Make That Money Brown. And I am joined, like I tweeted out, I said, stay tuned at 8:30. I've got a very special guest. You didn't want to miss it. The Hebrew Hammer himself, who I don't know why he's taking off his glasses. I mean, I can't see anything anyway.
Oh, I can see. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mr. Mike Brown, thank you so much for coming on our show, buddy.
You're welcome.
What's new in the world of Michael Brown tonight?
Man, just snapping checks. Well, no, cashing checks, snapping necks. STR Marketplace celebrating our first ever $10 million year, $15 million closed in sales this year, achieved today. So it has been a day of working, people calling me as I'm on the show, but it is time to podcast. So
time to podcast. And I know you, sir, probably have a podcast later on to do.
I have the night off from the Dream.
Oh, look at you.
Dream Take Bottoms Up that typically airs every Thursday night here on FinTalk. Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Hopefully we got a pretty cool guest lined up for Saturday at 8 to watch our – I'm not even going to say it because the Dolphins pissed me off losing 3 games in a row. But that's beside – we're not here to talk Dolphins. We're here to talk the world of the wrestling. The WWE, the WWF, the WCW, the ECW, the world of wrestling entertainment.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, Mr. Brown, you are joining us on our Christmaka episode.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, you know, we're festive. You and I are both of the tribe, the chosen people.
Yeah, I'm circumcised. Yeah, no.
And we try to keep the show a little bit PG, just letting you know.
Oh, okay, got it. I won't say circumcised anymore.
No, it's okay. We don't keep the show PG.
We won't say circumcised anymore. I got it.
We will no, it's okay.
Understood.
It's all right.
No problem.
Anyway, so Mike, you and I have gone to wrestling shows before. We've watched wrestling. I literally was at your house, last weekend to watch Friday Night SmackDown?
Mm-hmm.
And you and I were sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, we look at the TV, and we're like, oh, Ricochet's going to win. Oh, Ricochet's going to lose. I said, Mike, no, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, I'm pretty sure he's going to win. I said, no, Mike, he's probably going to lose.
Yeah, it's one of these things that, I mean, I've been a wrestling fan a long time. I don't love the modern day wrestling, to be honest with you. I'm a much bigger fan of Stone Cold, of Kane, of The Undertaker, Mick Foley, you know, the Rock, you know, the Kurt Angle,
You're old school all the way.
The Dudley Boys. Yeah, I mean, now, you know, you look at guys like, I think Kevin Owens is such a great version of the modern day badass. You know what I mean? Like,
Shalom. Just letting you know, Mike, Ryan Taylor is like our #1 fan.
Oh, well, phenomenal.
2 Browns sitting on a couch. Okay.
You know, I think it's one of those things, though, that I don't love the stable of WWE right now, if you will.
Okay.
I'm not a huge.
What do you mean by stable?
Well, I mean, you look at, you know, what I like to do is I like to take a look at the top 5.
Okay.
You know, top 5 male wrestlers and female wrestlers went up against the top 5 of AEW. Who would win that matchup? To me, it's AEW all day long.
Okay, because we've had this conversation before on one of our previous shows, is if you take the top 5 from AEW, who I'm kind of intrigued to see who your top 5 from WWE and AEW are.
Well, I'll say top 3. I'll go top 3. I think
so a 3-on-3, so a 3-on-3 match. So a 6-man tag match.
Yeah, I think you probably. I mean, WWE. You start with Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns is. I mean, he's a certified just dude.
Yeah.
You know, you probably have to put Brock still up there. I think Brock could tear the house
Okay.
down. Anybody? You know, in that third slot, you know, do you go Seth Rollins? Do you go Kevin Owens? Do you go Bobby Lashley? I mean, if it was me,
Right.
I'd probably go Kevin Owens, to be honest.
Okay.
I think Kevin Owens could hold his own in a multitude of matches. I don't know, you know, Lashley. I don't know how well Lashley does in a ladder match, if you will, or a tables match. I think Kevin Owens could do anything, anywhere.
Kevin Owens was in when we made our first show. We talked about our top 5 wrestlers, and I said Kevin Owens was in my top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely top 5. I'd put him in the top 3. I think Seth Rollins is special as well. AEW, you probably look at, you know, you start at the top with MJF.
Mm-hmm.
I think MJF might be the first wrestler to, you know, need a 6-figure deal with AEW or WWE or whoever. I think he's worth on a long-term contract $100 million. I think Riddle too for WWE. Don't forget about him. Orton get down with just about anybody.
Right.
You know, I think is phenomenal. I'm a massive John Moxley fan in AEW. And then I think it's up to interpretation. And Adam Page can also, no pun intended, just about anybody.
Right.
In that type of matchup, I think WWE wins, but I think AEW keeps a lot closer.
Okay, Mike. Do you know about the Bray Wyatt hat that's on our show?
No.
So it's actually a gift that you gave to me.
Oh yeah, I remember that hat.
Right, the one that you gave me, this one right here, the Dockers hat, that you actually signed right there.
Oh, of course.
Put it on the camera right there. He signed it.
Oh yeah.
Wherever the fucking camera is, there it is, right there. So this hat has become a staple for our show.
Oh, it's a nice hat.
It is. Ryan hates it.
Well, Ryan
Rousset absolutely hates it.
I'm happy for him. That's good for him. I mean, if he can catch me in the ring, how about that?
He Claymore'd your ass. See, look, the hat. People love the hat. That's my hat thing. And Mike, I'm gonna put on a special hat for you later because you are coming on the show last minute. Mm-hmm. I got a hat that probably is very near and dear to your heart that I will wear for you.
Yeah, I forgot about Drew McIntyre, by the way.
Honorable mention. Yep, honorable mention. Drew McIntyre.
I like Drew. I'm not in. I like it more. I like ever since Triple H has taken over. I think he's done a much better job creative wise.
Yeah.
Where I don't even think it's close. But I also think that WWE has way too much programming. I mean, way. I cut it back because I think they're just overexposing themselves at this point.
Okay.
But that's another story for another day, potentially.
So, also on Friday, while you and I were watching, Roman Reigns came out to the ring, and you literally looked at me and you were like, "Who can beat him? Who literally can beat this guy?" And I told you, I said, it's going to be Cody Rhodes probably at WrestleMania, but right now I don't think anyone can beat him. And then they do a little promo with Sami Zayn, and then all of a sudden, guess who pops up on the jumbotron?
John Cena.
Da, 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 da! Can't see me.
Cena's done so much for WWE that it makes sense, and I actually like it a lot. I love that matchup with Owens, Cena, Zayn, and Reigns. See, that's that's fun.
It is.
That's different. That's something that you wouldn't expect to see, if you will. And so I like it a lot.
Well, because you have Owens, who is he's a guy that the fans love, but he's also like, he doesn't want to put on that face type character. He still wants to be like the bad guy in some situations. Like, he comes out, he beats everyone up, and then he'll just stun someone right there, which is who a guy that you and I idolize, and his name is Stone Cold Steve Austin, did throughout his whole career.
Yeah, and Stone Cold. I don't know if Stone Cold. I don't think so.
Did you see this comment? John Cena and presents under the tree for Jewish kids. Two things you don't see.
Yep, John Cena's not under my tree. No, man. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's really fun. And to answer your question, they need to take the title away from Reigns, in my opinion. I think it's run its course. I think it's time to move on from both.
Due to the fact that,
It's
so
just
who would you say is going to take the title?
I mean, I don't hate the Cody Rhodes. I don't hate the Cody Rhodes take. I don't see it going that way. I think it's going to be Bray Wyatt, and I think it's going to be before WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah. Well, WrestleMania is what, in April?
It's in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'll stay with WrestleMania, but I do think it's going to be Bray.
Will you stop putting your knees on the camera?
Sorry. Bray. I don't think I love Cody. I think Cody's is awesome. I think he was great for AEW. I think he was great in WWE, but I think it's Bray's time. I mean, Bray's promos are just awesome.
Did you see the most recent one on Friday? When I was watching it on my way to your house, I was like, I cannot miss this. And seeing that Uncle Howdy is someone else, by the way. Yeah. Do you know the whole Uncle Howdy story with Bray Wyatt?
Yeah. I wonder who Uncle Howdy is.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
It's his brother, Bo Dallas.
Oh, it's Bo Dallas?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because by the way, the University of Houston just beat McNeese State. Just letting you know.
I'll call CNN and I'll let them know. Yeah, I mean, I love that move too, because I think Bo Dallas, I miss Bo Dallas. Like when Bo Dallas was a part of WWE, he was one of those guys. Like he was an energetic guy. He flew around the ring. Like those are the types of guys that WWE needs to lean more into. Guys like Baron Corbin, who is so talented in the ring.
You like Baron Corbin? Because I'm not a Baron Corbin fan.
I like Baron Corbin as a jobber. Like he's a level above a jobber, but he's a guy that can put on quality matches whenever he wants. Like they need to what's his name back in the ring? Mysterio's kid. What's his name?
Oh, Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic was getting better and better if you watched him week in and week out. Like I hate that storyline with him and what's her name? Rhea Ripley. I hate that story. Like it's
our Ryan Taylor is saying that Uncle Howdy is Undertaker. Trust me, he's not. What I was gonna say is on Wikipedia, somebody posted on Bo Dallas's page, just added Uncle Howdy as a character on his Wikipedia page.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's Uncle Howdy.
It doesn't, but it wouldn't shock me if he was.
It wouldn't shock me, but I think the guy's the Undertaker. I mean, Undertaker's like legit 6'10".
Right. And this guy was tiny.
Yeah, and you know, WWE's trying new stuff, and that's all you can ask for at this point. Like they did the milk thing a couple weeks ago, which was one of the worst bits I have ever seen.
With Kurt Angle?
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was really bad.
You know why they did that though, right?
Why?
Because years ago, like when Kurt was in his prime, he brought out a milk truck and did the same thing where he doused people in the ring with a milk truck.
Yeah, I mean, okay, congrats, yes, but I think that WWE in the new year is going to become more old school WWE or WWE.
I would like, yeah.
And it's smart because they did what a lot of other companies did over the last couple of years. For lack of a better term, they embraced the wokeness. They tried to tone down their product, and that time is done. Like if you don't like wrestling, then don't watch it. But they're gonna bring back some of those gory matches. I feel like because they have the guys to do it. AEW's already doing it. To me, it's not even close. If you ask me what I'd rather watch on a weekly basis, it's AEW over WWE, and it's not even close.
I'm right there with you. Like I'm watching a match right now between Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida. Like we tune in, we do live reacts to got milk. We do live reactions to AEW Dynamite. We don't do that for Raw and SmackDown and stuff. Well, it just happens our shows on Wednesday night, but you know, the thing is that the AEW show has so much put into it, and it's so much boom, boom, boom. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And the promos. I mean, Ricky Stark's promo tonight on Jericho was fantastic. Yeah, Ricky Starks is a guy who you got to watch out for.
They have a lot more creative freedom in AEW. You know, like MJF. I mean, not because he's Jewish. MJF is everything that is right about professional wrestling. But he takes it a step farther because that's the way he is in real life. When he does podcasts, I don't know how much podcast you listen to of him.
I've seen him do a podcast, yeah.
He did a big one. He did one that was like an hour long, and he's done what is it? Pardon my take with Barstool.
Yeah.
That's him. Like he is an a-hole because he's better than you and you know it.
Right.
You know, and he's married to a gorgeous woman, you know, and he's like, look, she's got big tits and I love her. Like, I'm being honest, that's just my wife. I'm a big fan of hers. He's talked about the money dispute, and they lean into that on AEW. Now they're starting to do it more on WWE. When you listen to these performers talk, they're getting more creative freedom. Who was it? It was who's the US champion? What's his name?
Austin Theory.
Who told Seth Rollins last night that at the end of the day, you're just the third best member of the Shield. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. I'm like, okay, Austin Theory, I see you. And once he got away from that gimmick with Vince, which I actually like that gimmick with Vince because it made sense. He was the young kid that Vince,
right,
you know, was all about. But once you got away from that and you're like, okay, just go be Austin Theory. I kind of like Austin Theory. Austin Theory held his own against a lot of dudes in that company.
We are not big fans of Austin Theory on this show, but we like his persona. We don't like him as a wrestler, but we like his persona. But what we talked about is that because we hate him so much, he's doing his job.
Why do you hate him as a wrestler?
I think his techniques are perfect. I don't think he's like the golden boy or the top and upcoming star. I think you have guys like Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, Seth Rollins that are guys that are going to lead this company. I don't see Theory as a guy that's going to lead. Sorry, now Austin Theory. Went back to Austin Theory as a guy that's going to lead this company. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. Okay, Triple H watches this show, so he's probably listening right now.
No, but I could also see a guy like Theory going to AEW and becoming a world champion.
100%. 100%.
That's the thing is once WWE identifies these guys, I also think Triple H is going to lean. I've said lean into a bunch, but I think it's true. I think he's going to start leaning into NXT more too for these, for a lot of the people in his stable. You look at what has he done recently? It was
everyone that Vince has fired, he's basically brought back.
Well, I mean, New Day, was competing on NXT.
Nah, they're the NXT champions.
Yeah, I mean, things like that where they use all three of their platforms to embrace their as much as possible is important.
I got my hat free, bud. Hold on. Got my hat free. 1 second, everyone. It's right over here. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, hello.
That's a nice looking hat. It's a nice looking hat.
I am wearing this hat for you and for all the people on this network.
Fins up forever. No, man, but I think the world of wrestling right now is in a really good spot.
Right.
I will say this. I think outside of Roman Reigns, I don't know if you'll agree with this. There's not a bona fide megastar.
There's not. No, 100%.
Well, I'll take it back. I'll give you two names. I'll give you Brock Lesnar, who's taken a step back from the company, and Roman Reigns. Even in wrestling anywhere, like guys like Kenny Omega, I enjoy watching. They're not household names like the yesteryear of wrestling. I think that's what wrestling's missing right now. Like we talked about. Everyone knew Undertaker, The Rock,
Stone Cold. Yeah.
Like that's what wrestling is missing. That's what they have to develop next. I think Bray Wyatt could be one of those guys.
Oh, he is literally when I love Bray Wyatt. And like when he came back, I lost my shit. Like I think, by the way, so Bray Wyatt, his stipulations for coming back were some of these people have to come back with me or I'm not coming back. And his brother was one of them.
Yeah, and I think that I'll tell you this, I think AEW could have used those guys more than WWE could. I mean, there's so many things that they could have done with Bray Wyatt and the Dark Order on AEW. I mean, because
you do know that AEW lives on factions right now. So you have Jericho Appreciation Society, you have the Firm, you have House of Black. I mean, AEW thrives on teams. They don't really thrive on the solo. They thrive on Blackpool Combat Club. They thrive on these teams.
Well, I think cool because he was really close. What's his name? Who passed?
Luke Harper.
He was really close with Luke Harper. I mean, he had an post about it, about how much he missed him. How cool would that storyline have been if they would have been able to sign Bray Wyatt and then take over his role as the
leader
of the Dark Order? I mean, it's stuff like that I think that transparently, I don't think AEW could have afforded Bray Wyatt because I think WWE paid through the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Which good for them. I mean, I'm happy for him, but I'm interested to see where CM Punk, lands.
I can't see him coming back to WWE. I can't see him coming back to AEW. I don't think he's coming back to anything. I think he shot himself in the foot with the way he acted.
What do you mean? What did he do?
So, I don't know if you saw it, but after he won the title, he got into a backstage altercation with Kenny Omega. He basically started talking shit with about Colt Cabana and all that. So then Colt Cabana is really good friends with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and they met Punk backstage and they said, do something about it. And Punk just clocked one of the Young Bucks and they just started fighting.
Yeah.
And the guy that trained Punk got involved. And it was about like a 6-man person brawl, an actual fight.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's done. Just go into broadcasting, I think broadcasting is where Punk needs to go.
Okay.
If I'm WWE, I would sign him as a commentator. I would.
I could see it.
I think taking the role of Pat McAfee, get involved in a match or two, because he would get the fans talking, because right now, who is it? It's who's it on Friday Night SmackDown with Cole?
It's Michael Cole and Wade Barrett.
And I like Wade Barrett. I think Wade's fine. I don't want.
And Monday Night Raw is Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick, who no one knows who the hell Kevin Patrick is.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw just isn't doing it for me as a fan. I mean, I love Monday Night Raw. I've been watching it as often as I can. Friday Night SmackDown 100% is the flagship.
I agree. I 100% agree with you.
Which is not, I mean, it's not good. I mean, that's the 2-hour. You want more eyes being on the show that's 3 hours. I also think Raw being 3 hours hurts it.
It's too long. It's way too long. They need to cut it to 2.
It's too long. We haven't even talked about the women's division. Where is Charlotte Flair?
Right.
I think that, on Monday nights, man, I mean, you've got, good God, you've got Bayley, you've got Bianca Belair, you've got Becky Lynch. I mean,
Alexa Bliss. Yeah.
Alexa Bliss. I mean, you have got some star power on Monday nights. And, I think they're building it up. I love Shotzi. I think Shotzi is phenomenal.
Yeah. Are you a fan of Ronda Rousey in WWE?
Yeah. I mean, I think I might be on the minority. I know a lot of people don't love her on the mic. I actually really like her. Not necessarily on the mic, but in the back in the little promos that they do in the back, where she beat the hell out of
Raquel.
Raquel, because her and
Shayna Baszler.
like just little spots like that. I love Ronda Rousey. Are you kidding? I think Ronda. I think if they gave her enough leash, could go down as one of the 10 best women wrestlers of all time in WWE.
Wow.
I could see that. Top 10. Realistically, who's the greatest female wrestler of all time?
Ooh. That's number one, probably Trish Stratus.
Okay. You're going to tell me that if you put those two in a match, you wouldn't take, or you wouldn't give a decent shot to Ronda?
That's
you start thinking about one-on-one, how many women could actually yes, 100%, I'm taking this woman over Ronda Rousey. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Trish Stratus, have you seen her? Like, she's still fit. Oh my god. Phenomenal follow on Instagram.
Yeah, Lita. I would love to see a Lita Ronda Rousey match. Are you kidding me? But all time, yeah. I like Ronda Rousey in pretty much any match.
Do you attribute that to her UFC background, or the fact that she now has embraced like the WWE type of fighting for her now?
I think it's a combination of both. I think her being in the UFC did nothing but help.
Okay.
Her confidence. She's the baddest woman on the planet. You know, I love her connection to Piper. Now, yeah. I'm big time Ronda fan. I think the biggest question for me of 23 is, are we going to see The Rock? That's what I want to know.
Oh, Bobby commenting.
Charlotte
Flair is the GOAT. Bobby's a big Charlotte Flair fan. Yeah. Bobby put Charlotte Flair in his top 5 wrestlers.
By Charlotte Flair is a certified badass. She's awesome.
I think she comes back at the Rumble. My personal prediction is she comes back at the Rumble. Yeah. I think she wins the Rumble in the women's, and then she challenges Ronda for the title at Mania.
Yeah,
I can't see her challenging Bianca because we seen Charlotte Bianca? I don't think so.
I would love to see it.
We've seen Charlotte Ronda. That we've seen before.
Yeah.
So maybe we might see it. I don't know.
23 is the year that the Usos lose the title. I think 23 is the year that Roman loses the title. Look, we all have talked about The Rock. Is he going to come back?
Right.
I want to see him at WrestleMania.
It has to be because it's in
Hollywood. Yeah. It's in Hollywood. There's a lot
like we talked about. We don't want to see it for a title. We want to just see them fight each other.
Well, and there's a lot of storylines going into 23. WWE has a lot of questions to answer in 23. What is Tyson Fury? What is his connection to WWE overall? Okay. Is he a mainstay guy? Is he a one-hit wonder? Is there other guys that they plan on bringing back into the fold in some way? Could The Undertaker come back as a JBL to somebody? Could Undertaker up with Bray Wyatt?
Oh, I might. I don't know. I might. If Undertaker and Bray Wyatt team up,
they're having Triple H in charge opens all of those doors. Do they want to have Mick Foley back in the fray?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They already hired William Regal back. We talked about it last week. They hired William Regal back as a VP. We're gonna probably see him appear on some kind of show, and the crowd's gonna lose it when he comes on.
Yeah, William Regal. Zayn is eventually going to split from the Bloodline.
Yeah.
What does that look like? Is there a triple threat match between Roman, Sammy, and Kevin Owens coming? I don't know.
I think so. My prediction is that the Bloodline's going to turn on Sami Zayn. And then, what my prediction next week for SmackDown, because that's when Cena's fighting is next week, not this Friday, but next Friday, is it's going to be Owens and Cena versus Reigns and Zayn. And Zayn's going to lose the match. And Zayn's going to lose the match. And Reigns is going to be super pissed that he lost it. And it's going to come to some kind of fruition where at the Rumble, let's say the Usos are in it and Sami Zayn's in it, and the Usos or Zayn throws out one of the Usos. I think you're going to start seeing some things turn right there. And when they turn on Zayn, I think Zayn's going to team up with Owens and take the tag titles at Mania from the Usos. That's my prediction.
That's a really cool storyline. Like, that's something that I would tune in to watch.
Yeah.
More nights than not, it's not a. I'm not going to say it's not watchable. I'm going to say that I'm not spending 3 hours of my Monday night watching what WWE has consistently put on over the past few years. Now it's changing. I think it's getting better, but it's still not something that I'm definitively saying I gotta,
No, I hear you. I 100% hear you. And so I want to end the show with something that I wanted to do with, Ryan and Alfred tonight was your Christmas wish list for wrestling. Okay. So give me your top 3. If you were like sitting on Santa's lap and he goes, "What do you want from wrestling?" Okay, you know what? Take it easy. All right.
No problem.
Mrs. Santa, there you go. You can sit on her lap.
Or
face, whatever. Sorry, kids. What are 3 things that you would ask for wrestling? And then, so next week we're going to have our New Year's show. We're going to do a full 2022 review show. So that's going to be fun to watch. Definitely tune in. Subscribe, FinTalk Sports Network, to watch that. So what are your 3 wish list items that you would ask for?
Oh, man. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit already. I want Bray Wyatt to hold a title.
Okay. There's one.
Oh, man. I'd love to see a Kenny Omega MJF match.
Okay. That's cool. 2.
I'd love to see Becky Lynch become women's champion again.
3. Perfect. And I'll tell you mine. So my number 1 is I want them to have MJF have the title for a long time, at least a year. Mm-hmm. I think he needs to have it. So AEW doesn't like having people hold the title for a long time because they want those storylines. AEW is all about storylines.
All right.
But number 1, I think MJF needs to hold the title for a while.
Okay.
Number 2, I believe that this Bloodline story, and the Bleacher Report put it out today, I don't know if I want the Bloodline thing to end because they remind me so much of the NWO, like those badass guys that don't give a shit. I mean, holy hell, on Monday night, they beat the crap out of everyone in the Raw locker room.
They don't have the personalities to be the NWO.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I mean, the NWO was what, 3 guys, right?
It was, so yeah, Scott Hall, X-Pac was part of NWO.
Kevin
Nash and Hogan was part of it too.
You had 4, right? But right now, talk about you have Reigns, you have the Usos, you have Solo Sikoa, you have Paul Heyman, and you have Sami Zayn. It takes 6 guys. Like, you can, of course, you can look good with 6 guys, but they don't have the mic. Like, none of those guys have the mic work. None of those guys have the mic work to hold their own against anybody in the NWO.
Bobby's like, NWO is number 1 of all time.
No, it's not even close. I mean, I like the Bloodline. Don't get me wrong.
No, I agree. I think NWO is better, but I was just thinking how they're comparing the Bloodline to NWO. I'm not saying that they are the NWO. I'm just saying they're close to it.
Yeah, okay. If you say, I mean, yeah. I mean, you're taking one of the greatest tag teams of all time, which is what you use.
They're the greatest faction of all time.
Yeah, I mean, they're right there. And you're taking one of the greatest title holders of all time. Of course they're going to look great.
Bobby says Charlotte versus Ronda at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you can sign me up for that.
Oh, I mean. And then number 3 in my wish list for wrestling is I want someone on WWE to bleed. I want to see a match where there's blood. They changed their ratings on purpose. I want to see someone get busted open. Tonight on AEW, they had a no DQ match between the Elite, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks versus Death Triangle. And the bastard Pac's chest was all cut up and bleeding. I just want to see it. Let them fight. Let us have those hardcore matches back in WWE.
I agree.
So, all right, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Mike, where can they follow you on Twitter?
Mike Brown _2020.
And for those of you guys that don't know, like Mike was saying, he has his show Bottoms Up, Fins Up every Thursday, but I believe he's doing his show this week on Saturday because Mike, you and I are about to go through a freeze. So we don't even know if we're going to have power, which sucks.
We'll have power.
It's Houston. You never know.
Yeah.
But you can follow me at AlexBB29. More importantly, you can follow our podcast page at capital N, capital H, capital B to that Bard podcast. More importantly, subscribe to right here, the FinTalk Sports Network. Amazing shows all the time. And next week, hopefully my other 2 tag team partners are going to come back. I appreciate Mike coming in, stepping in, my brother from another mother. Gave me the Wyatt hat, so y'all can thank him for it. You're welcome. So with that, I love you. We'll see you guys next week for the final show of 2022, baby. Peace!